Just real quick, just want to congratulate John Robluski and the U.S. women's team, including Kendall, on unreal W for the U.S. team. Rob was a friend of mine and thought it was awesome. He was able to guide that team to victory. What a game it was between the two countries. So it was awesome. Good. Good job.
You had mentioned wanting Colton to move his feet a little bit more, and he mentioned how he feels like these zone changes might help him do that more and get the puck in transition more. And just what are you hoping to see from him down the stretch here?
Well, first off, I would say, kind of the last month or so, this is the league. He didn't get tons of opportunity, and that happens sometimes in this league. And so, I don't know if it's a fair judge necessarily. I think when he's playing his best, he's moving his feet with the puck. He's moving his feet without the puck. He's been physical on a pretty consistent basis. Give him lots of credit for that. But I think confidence is a huge factor in all this stuff. And so, like when you're not playing in a regular basis, it's hard to learn how to play in those minutes sometimes. I think as you go through the league, guys learn to do it and get better at it, but it's hard for young guys. So, depending on the opportunity, in the minutes he's given and the opportunities given potentially on special teams, that'll dictate a lot of how he plays, and so we'll see where that goes. And ultimately, it's a balance between who does the coach decide who plays? Does the player decide who plays? There's a balance there. I think it would be foolish to say that the coach doesn't have an impact on it. Obviously, the player's play has an impact on it, and so I think it's a double-edged sword. And if he gets good opportunity, I suspect he's in position to do well with it. It's just my decision is who's the better guy in those spots, and those are decisions I got to make.
What are you hoping to see from Ryan Greene during these slew of practices?
Well, I think Ryan, is probably like a lot of our guys. I felt like he needed probably a chance to get to that break. Again, the schedule's nothing that he's seen in any level that he's played. It's just the reality, and no junior league, no college league, no American Hockey League, none of those prepare you for what we've gone through. And so, with the first time through, I just think it was probably a good breather for him mentally as much as physically. And I think he's had a good couple days out here. Seems like his confidence is in a good spot. And as I said, confidence matters a lot. So hopefully he can carry that forward from the next 3 practices into next Thursday.
Was there any reason you kind of had him not playing that Columbus game, or kind of?
Well, I just think there's times. There's times for guys to sit, and I don't think anybody's necessarily. He's a first-year guy. Grinding his way in the league, hadn't really faced any adversity up until that point. Never hasn't spent a second in the minors. Sometimes you got to face a lot of adversity. Just felt like it was the right decision for our team on that game and him personally, and give him a chance to kind of take a breath, watch the game, and then get back at it.
You obviously have a lot of young offensive defensemen. When it comes to the power play, how do you assess who's the best fit there, or what are you looking for from that role?
Well, one thing I guess I should probably explain is one of the reasons we've switched guys over the 2 power play units over the last 2 days is to do with penalty kill as much as anything else. So they get reps killing penalties. Ultimately, we've got guys that have shown that they're capable of being power play guys. We'd like to see 1 or 2 guys grab it and show they're elite at it. There's a difference there. Nobody has shown that they're elite at it yet, but they've all shown they're very capable at it. So, we'll see how the separation is as we keep going here. Certainly, that we went through a stretch where Rins was good, then I thought Artie was good, and I think Grizzly's been pretty consistent at it. I think those 3 would be ahead of Korch right now on the vying for power play minutes, and then it depends. What we see is the best fit as we're moving forward. But this gives us a good chance to both get looks at those guys in those spots, and it also gives us a chance for them to get penalty kill reps.
Random thing, but how do you determine the shootout order? Like you liked having Lardis go first a few times, and Bedard's typically gone second. Like, what is your rationale for that?
Some of it is Some guys, when they go first, they don't mind going first. Some guys like to go second, and it's just they like to get a look at the goalie. And I've had a lot of players that have been that way a little bit. I think Bedard prefers that second spot and get a look at not that they don't have tape ahead of time and stuff like that, but just get a feel for it. Also, enough times somebody like Connor has played a lot of minutes in overtime, so it gives him a chance to catch his breath. And you got to be careful of who's in the 3 hole, because that could be a real pressure-filled hole where the one hole doesn't have quite as much pressure on it. So I put Lardis out there because he's a first-year guy, and I didn't want to mount the pressure on him. And then, I think he scored in the first one, and then you put him out there again. You kind of go that way. So there's a little bit of feel to it, a little bit. You certainly got to make sure that your best shooters get a chance to shoot. That's probably the number one rule.
When you haven't had a full complement of centers at times this year, but now that it seems like you might have too many guys to, are you going to look at maybe having guys mix up face-offs a little bit, or?
Yeah, I mean we'll see where that goes. Like when you have when Greene and Bedsy have played together, they've kind of shared the face-off roles, like just depending on who's feeling it. Certainly Bezzy's taking the majority on the right side. I think Greener's taking a little bit more on the left side, just depending on how they're feeling it that night and who the opponent is. With like Morsey and Frankie, if we keep them together, that's a lefty-righty thing. The lefty can take it on the left side. That's a real advantage if you can do that. So we'll see where that all shakes out.
Have you any thoughts of, like, when Teuvo comes back, do you want him playing right away, or is there any?
It's a good question. They play tomorrow. We'll probably give him a couple days off, so we probably won't practice him, honestly, till Wednesday. So I wouldn't say we'd hold him out of the game Thursday, but we'd probably give him a couple of days here. I got to actually sit down with my staff today right after this and just sort out what our messaging is to him. I didn't want to say anything until we knew what game, but now that he's playing in that game tomorrow, my gut would be, we'd probably miss Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then so he gets a 3-day break, practice Wednesday, play Thursday.
Such a young team. You talk about the impact Connor Murphy's had on this young group.
Yeah, you know what, man? I can't say enough good things about Murph. Like, he's been great. First off, I think he's played really, really well. And, there was a time early in the year where he wasn't given lots of minutes. He's really had to earn it. Really, really done a good job of earning ice time on a consistent basis. He's a huge reason why our kill has been really successful. I think he's defended really, really well. He's moved the puck well. He's showing some scoring. He's been physical. He's fought. All those things are an important part of leadership. Your play probably is the most important part. And then beyond that, he's just a real, as his dad played, his dad coached. He's been around the game a long time. He's got a real level head to him. I think he has done a good job of being a papa bear to our young players and helping them along. And so I can't say enough positive things about him as a person and the impact he's had in our locker room.